Ever wondered why you can't seem to please that employer or why that employee just can't seem to get it right? We've wondered too. And so we created this safe space for conversations with everyday working people. My name is Roberta Orioma, and this is Why I Hate My Boss. We have two guests with us today. One is the co-founder of Mamadora Limited, which is also the parent company of Madora. You would have seen drinks on our set. They are chocolate chin chin bar. They are our sponsors for this season. And we are happy to have one of the co-founders here with us. Her name is Hilarry Okotie-Eboh. And the second guest we have is a producer, a screenwriter, a radio bestie, like she likes to say, and a whole lot of other things. Her name is Tamaraebi Sindio-Apaun. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. We are so happy to have you here.
That was a very nice introduction.
Yeah?
But I felt good about it.
Give me my flowers. Before we jump right into it, just tell us a bit more about yourselves and what you do, right? And we'll be starting with co-founder of
Mamadora
Limited.
Okay, my name is Hilarry Okotie-Eboh. I almost added my Shakiri name to it.
You can't do that.
I can't do it.
I like the name.
Adanori Shewo, Hilarry Okotie-Eboh.
Love it.
Co-founder of Mamadora Limited. We are a food processing company based in Lagos State, and we produce condiments, spices, snacks, and drinks, and basically everyday food that you need in your homes and your kitchens. So that's it for Mamadora.
Oh, interesting. Like some of the things I always buy from them. Guys, yeah, chin chin is fire. Okay, yeah.
Can I now say I'm currently obsessed with the strawberry pop?
Okay,
Highly obsessed. It's so good. Really, so
and
good.
it has prebiotics. Please add that. Thank you.
My name is Tamara. I think I first call myself a storyteller because I do a lot of storytelling.
Yeah.
Whether it's writing a screenplay, writing other things, articles, and then I produce content. I've worked with Pulse Nigeria. I've worked with How We Made It in Nigeria. I've worked with a lot of random content houses that are really, really great. And now I'm kind of working for myself. So it's new. And let's just say my last year, I did not hit the target, guys. Working for yourself is hard.
But I think it's also like it builds character, I think, if you are into character building.
At this point, I'm done with character development.
Okay.
I'm in my villain arc, so it's settled. But it does build tenacity in a different way. Because everything you've learned while working for buses and everything you've learned while working for them, you're like, oh, so this was why.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was why.
Yeah.
Okay, and now there's nobody telling you come to work by 9 anymore or come to work by 8. There's nobody saying they're Also, the hours are longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go from 9 to 5, you're going home to 9 to whenever the work ends.
Yeah.
And I'm experiencing that. I'm realizing structure. And I'm so happy that I worked well for other people because I'm taking everything and I'm putting it into me. It's been a year and it has been the longest.
You have a question. 9 to 5 is never really 9 to 5. I just let me add that because
Facts.
the work doesn't stop when you get home.
Yeah.
It continues until you are done with your deliverable because you will have a boss who is waiting for you to finish what you have to do. And then you submit. So you cannot even turn off your phone. So
Okay, we're about to jump right into this thing. Guys, you can see it, Abby. Okay. But before we do that, let me bring us back. Let's play a game.
Okay.
Are you scared of games?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
You would do it afraid.
You're very scared.
So the game is called 2 Truths, 1 Lie, Workplace Edition. So you say 3 things from your experience working, right? 2 of it has to be the truth, 1 a lie. So who do we start with?
No. No.
Okay, I think because we started with Hilarry the first time, right now we start with Tamara.
Introduction and games are not the same thing, though.
Thank you.
I want to cry so bad. Okay, 2 truths and a lie. I once went for a pitch. I worked as a salesperson before in my life. I've pitched a lot because writer. But I went for a pitch, and while I was talking to this billionaire guy about buying my market, he asked if I had a passport because he wanted to go to Dubai with me. And if I didn't have a passport, he was going to get me a passport in the presence of my boss. That's 1. 2, I did a job that was selling again. And my pay was supposed to be 15K a month. And this person just ghosted me. And that's a shit. They had me to return the shirt and they ghosted. No pay. After a shirt, all over like it. I'm supposed to give you 3 things. I'm supposed to guess the lie.
Yeah.
This should be fun. I want to know who can actually guess the lie. I once went for a meeting to pitch and ended up being in a relationship.
Sorry, what?
Guess.
So I think like because should I? So I can go.
Can she guess first? I don't trust you.
I think I know the answer, right?
Okay, what's the answer?
The third one is a lie. I think it comes from knowing somebody too well, I guess. Oh, did I get it right?
They offered marriage. I said no.
Wait, so which is a lie? Which is a lie?
The lie is the dating part, but it happens a lot. The asking happens a lot. Too much if you ask me. Like you are saying, oh, this is my pitch deck. Let me pitch. And they're like, are you dating someone?
Yeah, baby boo.
I want a second wife.
Oh no.
You look like the one.
Interesting. This is not our topic for today, but I think this is such an important thing to have. This conversation is such an important conversation to have. I'm always wanting to tilt towards it. But let me jump to Hilarry and let's have that conversation.
Please remove it from my side.
Okay, 2 truths and a lie. Number 1, I got gifted a MacBook Air as a reward for hard work. Number 2, I got replaced at work and I heard about it from the person that I got replaced with.
Sorry.
Number 3, my boss threatened to hit me.
To hit you with beat you.
Yes.
But should I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
Number 3 is a lie.
No, he didn't threaten me, Sha, but he threatened somebody else.
But he hit you.
It cannot be you.
So it's a lie. Was you?
No, it wasn't me.
It cannot be.
that's a
It
lie,
cannot
right?
be. Please, it cannot be.
Yeah.
It cannot be you.
No, he threatened to hit someone else, Sha.
It cannot be
When I
you.
heard it, I said, no. That's like you. That's like you. I'm done.
When will I see you again? Never.
If you've been enjoying our conversations, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you want to share your stories with us, send us a DM or an email. Okay, so I think this conversation is so interesting. So we're just going to go straight to bosses because we've been saying some very, very...
Hey, God.
Okay, so what's your worst 3 work experiences?
The first one has to be... So I was really young and I
Are you old now?
Yes, I am. Please. I started working. Okay, school doesn't count.
They don't even count the school age.
But I started working.
They'll be shocked.
If you count school, I started working at the age of 19. So I was really young and I had that has to be my worst job experience. So, he felt the need to talk unnecessarily mean to everybody at work, right? And because at first, I would say I wasn't great because I thought it was 9 to 5, right? So I was receiving my 9. And he was complaining that why am I coming to work by 9? What's 9 to 5? It's not 8 to 5, right?
Right.
And then I had to adjust and I had to quickly tell myself, okay. But then still, it didn't change until I said I was done with the work. And then he was like, oh no, why are you leaving? Anyways, I shall left after 3 months. And he had told me things like, this one I can never forget. So someone had helped me. A friend of mine had referred me for the job. And then he had said he was looking for a PA. And then he goes, oh, so you're friends with this person. I wonder what you guys talk about in a very, you need to learn business lingo. I said, well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. After 3 months, I looked at the entire situation. I heard,
I'm talking about
must say what you heard. I'm like,
you heard what?
let me roll up sleeves now.
I heard a rumor, because I was not there that day, right? It was a rumor.
A colleague told you.
Yes,
They
a colleague.
gave you
had told-
inside
a colleague told
A
you.
colleague had told me they had gone for a job and he had hit or threatened to hit or something like that. And when I just heard it, I was like, no. My father still loves me. My mother still loves me. I'm going, no, I'm not doing this again. And then, so that has to be like the worst experience because it really traumatized me. Like even finding work after that was very, very, very hard. My second would be, there was one that did not pay me for months. we're still very cool. Though. We're very cool.
I don't know, you're cool. Stop
I
owing
know,
people
yeah.
money. We don't work for joy or for fun.
So the company wasn't making money.
There was one that
Okay.
owed me, and then there was just one that was outrightly a whole mess. In fact, they did not pay me my last month. Yes, my last salary. Yes, let me add that one. Yes.
Is it the same person or
not
different
the same
person?
one.
You
Not
betray
the same
lots.
one. The last one. I worked my last month for free. Honestly, that one, I think that one has to be the worst.
You worked for free?
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let me not think about it.
No, please think about it so you can tell us about it.
It was so traumatizing. Jesus, every day going to work.
Verbally?
No, funny enough, it didn't start out like that. It was not verbally. It was just the environment, right? So I've learned, because I've worked in different places, and I've worked with different people, right? And in fact, I'm going to call my best boss by his name, Harold. Harold has to be like my best. Harold and
Okay,
Chidike.
shout out Harold.
They reward you when you do hard work, right? And they started that culture in me, and I saw it because they randomly send me messages like, "Oh, thank you for doing this with us. Oh, you are the best at what you do." Ginger, I wake up. Like, they would call, Harold can call me at any time when I was working for him to say, I need this document done. It's Harold. I will stand up, I will do the work. Why? Because he was an amazing boss. And I went from that and I went to another place after that. And I saw a work culture that was, I'm like, you are systematically being
Terrible.
Are
exactly.
you
You are
systematically
masking it
terrible?
with I'm like, I've worked in places where people really genuinely have a good heart for the people they work with. Like, they would say, like Harold would say then, like, I want to treat my people so well that even when they want to leave, they'll think about the good I've done for them. So I've seen that, right? And so now be at the other side when you're seeing the way, and I understand that people can be very, like, employees can be very frustrating, right? They can test your patience. But you also have to understand that you're dealing with human beings when you're doing these things. And you have to know how to get the best out of people. People are flowers, I mean, are plants. If you don't water them, they will die.
I'm a cactus.
Okay.
We're being plants, I'm a cactus. I will prick you. Start your own, I start back.
Wow.
I'm not that doing, let's just let it go. No. You do bus.
You do ghost.
I will leave.
Watch me ghost.
If you've been enjoying our conversations, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you want to share your stories with us, send us a DM or an email. Okay, so let's come to you. So, and let's hear about all your ghosts. And
Okay, I feel like saying this now, people like I don't want to employ her. I am a sweetheart. So I'm someone who genuinely loves what I do.
Yeah.
Like, I love what I do, writing, storytelling, being on set. I love it. It did not feel to get me going. But you do your own, let me do my own. Like, give me what I need to help me serve you. Yin and yang, it goes well in hand. Okay?
Don't be diplomatic. Your 3 worst experiences, Tamara.
I used to work in a hotel.
Uh-huh.
Let me be clear, I have suffered. I used to work in a hotel, and I have a history of employers who employ people who say they're good at the job and are not good at it. They just position and posture. That male posturing.
There's no
This is not a
training.
gender thing. This is not a gender thing.
They
by
just
the way.
said male posture.
But that posturing where you're not great, but you can talk. And as someone who is quite eloquent, I would say sometimes people who talk too much are full of, But like, I worked with this guy. I went for an hotel job and I got the job because we were looking for a very fine receptionist. This was after I had not gotten a job I wanted because I didn't have transport fare to go to the work. That happened to me, guys. Like, I didn't have transport fare to resume. And the date they gave me was not the date I was supposed to start. They just called me like a full week early. I said, we need you now to come and shoot. You told me we're starting in a full. And at the time, I thought it was painful, though. I was like, oh my God, I missed out on this presenting opportunity because I didn't have the money on hand to go. Not knowing that, you know what, that's already a problem. In hindsight, it's 2020, or what did they say? Yeah. But either ways, though, I worked for this hotel and I think I did my best to do a good job. I was very focused on smiling more and everything. And then this guy starts work and he calls me in for a meeting. And he's supposed to be our manager.
Yeah.
And I go in for the meeting and I'm seated and he's like, I think you have a very bright future. Okay.
Okay.
All right. It's just, with this job, you're not just selling anything, you're selling yourself too.
What does that mean?
What does this mean?
Wait, pause. He did this?
Yeah, so you're selling yourself too.
Like he did?
Like you're selling yourself too.
Okay.
And I'm like, what does this mean? Sit down. Come here. You're not a married man. I don't want to know you, bruh. Okay, sir. I'm just saying, like, the way these things go, sometimes you have to play your cards really right. Because with hotel jobs, the thing is, before you get your money, you get your money. It's just 30K. Like, it's 30K. Why am I doing this for 30K? Why are you doing this to me, sir? And I did something I never thought I would do in my life. I picked up my phone and started pressing record. Because I felt like, I don't know what's going to happen, but something about this room is just not right. And this man goes on and beats around the bush in a way where you're like, he's not saying it.
But he's saying it.
But he's saying it. That you can make your money before your money comes, clients and everything. We already have uniforms that show you off. And I feel like if you treat me well, I'll treat you well. I earn 30K. I'm not going to do... If I am going to go this route, because I moved from Warri to Lagos at 2018. I didn't have a place to stay. Shout out to amazing friends who held me down, right? So if I'm going to do something that would have people at home saying, hey, is this the child we have? That will have people looking like, oh, Tamara is now you best believe that will do it and settle generational wealth. It kept going on and then it finished. And I sent the message immediately to the person that got me the job. I said, I don't know what's going on, but you're the one that opened for you, because that one was nice to me. And I'm like, see what happened in this conversation. Or just I'm wicked, like I said. If you're wicked to me, you collect. I don't fight physically. I sent it and I don't know what happened.
But that sounds like you fight spiritually. That's not you meant to be. I'm just saying.
I mean, if by spiritually you mean, will I go and pray?
Okay.
Pastor's child.
Okay.
I will kabash. But aside from praying, and also, I've learned now that not speaking up sometimes puts you in more trouble and leaves room for more to happen. So I sent it in, and after that experience, it started being extra mean. Like, it would complain about nothing. There's nothing to complain about. It would hold me back because we do 24-hour shifts. So for 24 hours, I'm on my feet dealing with clients and everything. I would sleep on the cold floor. And then salary would delay a little bit. I'm like, you know what, it's fine because tips help. I already have to deal with that from clients trying to give me room number and all that stuff. I don't want to deal with it from my boss that I work for.
Yeah.
And then it would now go on and be extra mean. Like when it's time for me to go, you say, no, there's a meeting, you must wait.
Yeah.
The meeting 3 hours, meeting never hold. And after a while, it was just so problematic. I don't know what happened one day. The owner of the hotel just looked at me and said, I really like your work. I've been watching from cameras and everything. Do you have anything you feel like? And I did do overstep. I was like, oh, I feel like people should do an event here and make use of this space. And I was like, okay, I like you. But do you have anything you feel like may not? I said, no, I have nothing, sir. Everything is just going well. This person, what do you think about this person? I think my face said it all. Because I didn't even have to talk much. He was fired the next day. Sorry to whoever is worst experience ever.
I think that was good. Actually.
Yeah, but that moment, that the fear in your heart that if he locks the door or shuts the door, what could happen?
No, I think
if he asks you directly, you have to navigate and get, because it was a quiet room and in a meeting. It was not fine. But like the next month, man left. It was both good and bad. It was the worst one yet. And
what
then
are the others?
I worked with someone who was not the kindest to me when I started to do well at my job. And at first, this person was the right person to learn from. He was kind enough to say, hey, what do you think? He was kind enough to say, no, this is not how we do it. This is how we do it. And another thing I would say, hard workers. I worked with a bunch of hard workers. Media really taught me a lot of things. Like I could learn and okay, this is how you do it, communicate in time and everything, make this happen. And most of my skill, I worked there for like 2 years and I got a promotion in so fast and I was happy for it. But I realized that it was like the more people would say, oh my God, Tamara, you're doing really well. Do you have ideas on this? The more this person was a bit resentful. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it because we're cool. What's happening? And I'm not someone that would get into physical. I would not do that at workplace. I try to keep my personal life also private. It's none of your business. But I realized it was becoming an ongoing thing. I would give ideas, you shoot it down just because. And then the next 2 days, you come back with the same ideas, repackaged with a new name.
Why do you think he was behaving that way?
I think there was a day, the person made a comment that it hit me like, I was like, wait, is this it? Is this a problem? And I would say this wasn't just to me. So again, it could be pressure from other, everybody, your boss has a boss.
Oh, it's the comment.
I said, Anna, I know if I leave now, maybe if I leave, I don't not be doing the job.
Oh,
I mean, you don't want to do the job.
So it was a case of being threatened by your work. That's what it came off as.
Yes. And when it came off as it kind of made me feel like, if only you know that I don't want your job.
Got you.
Like, my goal has always been something bigger. And then
What was the third one?
I worked with someone briefly that told me that I would never be good at a job, good enough to work elsewhere.
What? Why?
I auditioned for this play and this person is foul-mouthed. She's foul-mouthed. She has no respect for anybody other than herself. And I'm new. I'm trying to be polite because I don't, again, not a fan of talking back and making a scene. If I have an issue, I would rather take you aside and maybe say that, is there a problem? Say something I'm not doing. And I was eager to please too. But she just threw it out. My resting face is not nice. I know. Got it for my dad. May so rest in peace. We don't know how to smile. And I get that might be off-putting. And I get that sometimes in the media, when you catch me unawares, there's no smile on my face. But then I now acting, right? And she just made this off-putting comment simply because she was like, this is how my face looks sometimes when you can't work elsewhere. You can never work elsewhere. Nobody can ever hire you for a good job. And I know it sounds funny, but every time I get a good job that is really great and I'm doing well and everything, I think about that person, I'm like, in your face.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm a nice person.
Okay. Interesting. I think between the both of you, you've had like some
I've had good
very
experiences too.
Yeah, but for like some really, really interesting experience. I've had my fair share of experiences, but today is not about me. Okay, I'm going to jump right in, right, and go straight to like work scenarios, right? So, both of you, obviously, you worked with different people in different fields, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes in like a workspace, some employees try to do the most. Some employees try to do as much as...
That's me.
Yeah, you just do like what the job is, right?
No.
Some people push beyond and do the most, right? What you find sometimes is that in certain situations, and situations like that, you begin to see like friction, right? Among the staff, because it's a situation where should I then do the most and then probably then have issues with my colleagues, or should I be one of the team and just like blend in?
Nope.
So that I'm good with everybody.
Nope.
You get like, have you had experiences like that? What did you do in situations like that? Have you had a coworker hiss at you or say that, who is this? Or say, who does she think she is? Always wanting to
Tamara has gist.
But do you want to go though?
No, you can go first.
As someone who has never done bare minimum, first of all, I like money. I like money. I like to know that I'm growing, like my salary is increasing every now and then because I'm doing something good. And again, I love to do something good. I love that face when, like if I'm in a unit, I don't care if I'm just in this unit. If I have an idea that I work for marketing, I would go and meet whoever is in charge and say, I may have an idea. You can use it, you cannot use it, but you know what? I'm going to send you a pitch deck.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop it. I'm not someone who keeps ideas, but I've realized that what that does is you could be in a meeting and someone will be like, have you guys heard Tamara's interview on 1-to-1? And somebody will just go, oh, God, I'm sorry. Did my greatness offend you? Hey, God, no. When someone starts up a company, I've worked for a bunch of startups, right? Yeah. Not even like the new companies, but different startups, different branches. I've worked for companies. And I feel like it's our goal as employees to make the company do well. Because if they do well, you can beat your chest to bear. You know when you say, hi, my name is Tamara, I work. I want to do that. I want to feel that. I want you to hear where I work and be like, I've heard about those people. They do this, they do that. I don't want to be bowing my head in shame. And people will be like, what do you do? I'll be like, oh, I just produce films. And they're like, but what company? No, I just produce films. No, I don't want to be ashamed of where I work. So whatever it takes to make the dream work, I'm saying this now because you have to be ready to deal with your colleagues not liking you sometimes. It's not a friendship. Yeah. I'm sorry, work friendship is not a friendship. Once they find out how much you earn. No.
I don't agree. Please.
Okay, I'll take it back and say this way. I've had people I genuinely love at work. But the last place I did a 9-to-5 for, I still call them and be like, we should see. Adulting is bad, but we should see. I have genuinely good friends there. But I also know that once people find out how much you earn and that you earn more than them, all of a sudden, even people saying you work so well are pissed. Yeah. They are offended. And I'm saying this because I used to earn more than my team lead. It was not an easy conversation to have when I was leaving because they wouldn't pay me more. It's not an easy conversation to have. But I brought a lot to the table.
Yeah.
So no apologies.
Pull up your share. Okay, Hilarry, let's hear yours. If you've been enjoying our conversations, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And if you want to share your stories with us, send us a DM or an email.
When I was working 9 to 5, I was queen of leaving the office last.
I know, girl.
Yes.
I was always the last to leave the office. I did not have a life. My life was my work. We had that conversation when I was still working at Harold, when I was thinking about leaving on 9 to 5. And they had said something about making people miss you when you are gone.
Yeah,
Ooh, I
that's
love
what
that.
I do.
Yes.
Love that.
That's me.
Love
There's
that.
no way I will walk in a place and leave that you will not talk about me.
Say that again.
You must, because I give you 1,001. And if you want 2,000, I'm giving you 3,000, and I am pushing the bar for you, right? And I'm learning, and there's no excuse to say, you want something, tell me. I will go on Google and I will research it. I would not tell you I don't know how to do it. I will do it. I will give it to you. What's the worst you will tell me? Oh, you did not do this way. Correct this. And I've learned something. And I feel like that's what people actually need to learn when they are working for
Yes.
people. You're not doing it for the employer. You're doing it for yourself. Because when you go, the skills that you learn, they go with you. The things I know today, I learned it from working for people. Excel, Pitch Deck, everything. I learned it. And when I was doing it, I was not doing it because I knew where I was going to. And I knew that I needed to learn these things to get to where I'm going to. And I feel like people don't know that, right? And I like I said, I worked in a place where it was just so laissez-faire. Everybody was not doing what they like. Well, I got to the place.
Ginger.
I was like, what's going on here? Like, why people not putting in?
Yeah.
And I put in 101, right? And people liked me. And I would generally say I'm a sweet person, right?
You are. You're sweet.
I don't like wahala. So I can roll with everybody, right?
True.
But when it comes to the work, I will do the work, right? And you will not have you cannot not like me, right? You will either learn, and I'm open to people saying, or my fellow colleagues saying, and I had that a lot, maybe because I was also very approachable, right? People will come and say, oh, they've told me to do X, Y, Z. How do I do it? And that was my experience working night. I never had a colleague that, if they did not like me, maybe they did not tell me. Or they were hiding it. And it's not my business. Because I will come and I will smile with you. And I'll be like, oh, how are you? Oh, yeah, oh, okay. What's supposed to go? Yeah. You complain, I'll say, sorry. Yeah, let's go. As long as the work is done, right? Because you also need to understand that the people that are actually paying your salary, it's coming out from somewhere.
Jesus, have mercy.
It's not easy for them to raise this money as well to pay you, right? And it's painful when they're paying you and you're not doing anything.
I agree.
And you're just sitting down and not doing. So, employees too, they have issues. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is, right?
It's true.
And we all need to learn to actually key into people's vision. If you can't key into the vision and you're not going, go somewhere else that you key into their vision and you grow and let other people get into that place and grow the company.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree
think
with everything you said.
This actually reminds me of a friend I have. So we used to work together until today. This person will always, whenever we meet or whenever we see each other, this person will always remind me that how much I used to piss them off back then because when I was looking for that particular boss, if that boss says, oh, because the media's the creative space, right? If that boss says, oh, there's this event that's happening here and I'm going and I need someone to go with me and it's a Saturday, I volunteer as tribute. Because and then my colleagues used to get so mad at me because to them, it felt like I was doing the most. But for me, it's like, if I don't go, I'll be at home. And I'd rather I'm trying to advance my career and my life. I work Saturday and I work Sunday. Guys, I'm not saying that if it does not work for you, fine. But back then, I had so much to learn and I wanted to do so much. And I didn't like not being busy, right? So whenever she would ask, I'll be like, I'm ready. And my colleagues were so mad at me. And then at some point, they promoted me to manager. And then I had to oversee them.
Oh, Lord.
It was a bigger problem. But I was like, guys, it is what it is, right? But in some cases, people will look at that and they'll say it's eye service. And I think I'm a serious advocate for, I'd rather you stand out than blend in.
What?
Blending in, being a part of the crowd
Nope.
Has
There's
done nothing
no
for
nothing.
anybody.
There's
No.
no benefits to it.
So the truth is, right, you don't know who is watching.
Yeah.
Right? And well, let me just say it. When I was leaving, right, one of the jobs I got, or one of the last places I worked, right, it was someone that had seen me at work, and she was like, "I like the way you work, and I like your dedication, and I want to introduce you to the MD of this place, right? Because I see that you put your all into this thing. So let's go." And that's how I moved to a better paying job, right?
Love it.
But you don't know who is watching you. You're not doing it for you. You're not necessarily doing it for your boss or anything. You don't know who would see you and say, "I like this girl.
Yeah.
I need her in my company."
Yeah.
Oh, there are people that I have worked with as vendors, right?
Yeah.
In companies. I'm like, when I have money, I'm going to steal you away from this company because I see the way you work and I like the way, and it's true. Like, I know that if I hire you to work in my organization, you'll give it 101. So you don't know who is actually watching you to say, if this person enters into my company, I can see my company going by XYZ. So therefore, let me hire the person. So you're not doing it for your organization, do it for yourself.
Exactly. But then there's another side to it, right? And it's something I've also experienced. And I think both of you may have experienced it, right? In situations like this, usually with the employees that do the most, yeah, you are often like then giving more things to do. So it's almost like sometimes it feels like punishment for doing the most. No, I'm saying that it may help you grow and it helps you expand. But like, have you experienced situations like that when your workload has now like tripled and your colleagues are probably doing one thing and you're doing 5 things or 10 things or 20 things? But if you pay going up,
thank you. This is where we differ. I had this exact situation happen at a work situation where I felt like one thing about me is I've gone through the phase of imposter syndrome. I've gone through the phase of I don't know my worth. I'm in my main character energy. I know I am the table. See, I would give you more, hands down, more than you ask for. I would take on the job of so many people. You want me to create shows, I'll create 20 when you're asking for 7. Big. Tell me what to do, I'll do it. If I don't know it, I'll learn it. If I have to go and do research and ask other people and say, "Hey, Alpha, I tell you to do this in that time." Okay, great. The one place you would see me probably beg in life, ask for help, is when I don't know. And we live in a world where there's YouTube, there's ChatGPT. I have friends who have probably done it. I will learn and I will show up for you. But what I will not take is not being compensated for my work. It is very unfair. I think around one of the reasons why I started working for myself it was not like I was mad at anybody. I was mad at me. Because everything I've gained, everything I've learned, I have been that child that would stay up at night dreaming of new ways to do stuff, that would reach out to people and be like, "Oh, I want you to have a good experience." I've done all of that work in 7 years. I've learned so much. I've worked in different areas and I am good at what I do. I'm not saying I'm the greatest because I will never accept that greatness is here. There's more growth to gain and everything, whatever. But I am very good at what I do. And I did something. I suggested a campaign that the team flopped. They could not handle, they flopped it. And I also know people say things like, "Oh, Tamara is so choleric. Because I don't have time to be waiting to massage your ego let me just do it." So if I have to do it myself, it's fine.
So,
but then I'm a leader to people. And then I finish doing it. I deliver. And the result is amazing. And people were getting money. I got lunch. I sat down, watched people show up. And I said this on behalf of my entire team because I didn't do it alone. Yes, I bought the idea. Yes, I also spearheaded, but it was a full team that I had to rally around to pick up what someone could not handle, which if you had just said you could not handle it before, I would have stepped in anyway. I'm not saying I did it all by myself. I had a lot of help. Was it my idea? Yes. Did I really push? Yes. Did I plan, produce? Yes. But we did it. And I'm sitting at the table and I'm sitting down and I hear, "So I want you to be coming every day now." And I'm like, when we're doing projects, I come even on weekends and everything. But when we're not doing projects, I don't really see the need to come every day because we don't have a lot of pressing tasks. And sometimes, this is me, I'll take time off my own day to go and be having meetings with people that can invest. Like brands that, "Oh, I'm working with these people. Would you like to partner with us and create?" Because that's also part of my job that they don't know. But I'm doing it. I'm talking to people. Everybody like, "Oh, okay, when you're ready, we'll send this so that and you're telling me, "Okay, you want me to come every day?" And I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I would rather not because I have this." So they were like, "Oh, no, we'll make it." Okay, fine. I would do it. But what's my compensation going to be?
Salary.
We don't do that here.
They don't increase salary here.
You say waiting. Excuse me, ma, what do you mean we don't do that here? You're already the highest earning on your team. We are not going to increase the salary. Why? Because an employee should be able to move from different departments to different departments and just roll with it. I'm like, okay, am I a bit resistant to coming every day? I was. I explained why. You've said you want it. I've now said I will do it, right? I'm going to be paying tea fare, cabs. It's more cost on me.
Mm-hmm.
Can my salary reflect that? No. This went on for a month. Let me tell you the part that really irked me a bit. I gave in. Here's the thing. Again, when I love what I do, I will do the thing. I gave in and I said, let me just start doing the thing. And also, my boss then is one of the best bosses I've worked for. But HR bosses, different departments. And I'm still doing the thing. Because if I do it, we'll handle it. And my salary comes in the same way.
But doesn't it's usually like the bosses have final say, right?
I don't know what happened. But at the end of the month, when my salary came in the same way, it has always quit. With these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you that I, Tamaraebi Sindio-Apaun, cannot remain here. Igobi.
So for me, right?
Yeah.
If you say your reward is never, if you say your reward is never, I will push you here. Try me.
We
Try me.
Right?
Forbid money.
Your reward, Tamara. It's not your reward.
Wait.
You don't like money.
I like money, but money is not my driving force.
Hey! Ginger. Oh yeah, give me 10
What's your
million.
driving? Tamara, calm down.
Because money would come, right? And I learned this. I learned
money
this
will
early,
come. Pick
right?
you up.
I learned it early, and someone had told me then about. And I had a conversation with someone, and he said, when you deliver value, you get money. It's just the way it is. And
Until you deliver to the person that will sit on top of your head and you will forever remain there.
Wait. Me, I don't work in places for too long.
Right.
That's me, right?
Not bad advice.
I don't
Not bad
work in.
advice.
It's my own thing.
Not
I
bad
think the
advice.
highest I've done is like.
I have personal experience.
I mean, it sucks to be the boss of someone that doesn't work in places for too long, but you have to know when
the person is not good at what the person is doing.
You have to know when to leave. It's very painful.
The
They will always
highest
try
I've
to get you
done
to
is
stay.
like
$2 years.
I don't even know up to 2 years in a
You did
place.
2 years with me.
I did 2 years with
Yeah,
you.
girl.
Is she one of the boss you hated?
No.
Because she's a
She was actually a
sweetheart.
good boss.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
But she was a very
I'm very demanding.
demanding.
I
No.
need you to make sure, yeah.
With
I'm
great
very
waiting
demanding.
comes great responsibility.
I'm
I
very-
will just speak the English again.
I'm not in terrible
My worry
boss,
is on now.
but I'm very demanding. Yeah.
Very demanding. No. Hey. Because she'll say, I'm just dropping this now for tomorrow. Knowing that
she
I'm awake.
whispers.
No.
She
Hey,
makes starts when she
knowing
says
that
that.
I'm
No.
awake.
Let me
send a
speak to
message.
that.
No.
I actually dropped you're not the only one I drop messages for. So when things pop into my head, I have to quickly put it down. So maybe it pops into my head, I have to quickly drop it down so I don't forget. So when I drop my message and I'm like, so I'm dropping this against morning, right?
Yeah.
I expect you to be sleeping. Why are you awake?
Oh, you know I don't
What?
sleep on time.
Is that on me? Guys, wait.
So when you said
Okay,
this at that time,
let me
Don't
say
be fine,
to
don't
this.
be- Wait.
If you were sleeping,
You will not
will
see
the
it
message.
until morning.
but I'm awake. She knows I don't sleep till like 4
Oh, you're
a.m.
not the only one I sent to. So I'm like, okay, even if you see, don't respond till morning. But you still respond. And I'm like, why are you responding to me by this
On
time?
both sides.
Because
on
if you
both sides,
respond,
I
I'll
get it.
respond. Don't respond to me. Wait till morning.
On both sides,
to
I get it.
respond.
Production stuff, and in fact, sometimes you just get the idea and you want to really, let me just remember right now to say to this
Send
person.
it to yourself.
But one thing I have learned that I think some people should learn to do, and again, I'm the radical on this table and I stand by it, because we agree on a lot of things. But your do not disturb works.
I did it too. My last
That's
was like
my-
12 o'clock to 6 a.m. 12 a.m. to
That's
6
my
a.m.
version of basketball.
12 a.m. to 6
I'm not
a.m.
going to fight
My
with
phone
you.
is on.
I'm not going to fight with you.
Mode.
I'm not going to tell you
You
work
can't-
boundaries. For instance, I was on leave one time and somebody's
It
child
does not work.
was sending me work to do on my leave.
It's-
And then making it sound like, after all, it's not like this is a crime. Or like, you know, see, the thing with me is, I'm like mimosa plants. Basically, when you touch it small, I don't respond to entitlement, basically.
So
Do not
back
disturb.
to you. Let me let you finish before I go to
So-
the last segment. Yeah.
So Yeah, I know that once I deliver value, right? So I don't stay for long enough to say let's review salaries. But the point is, you tell me you don't want to increase my salary. I know why I'm working for you in the first place. I would look at it. Have I gotten everything I need to get from this person? Yes. If the answer is yes, I'm moving on. If the answer is no, I learn what I need to learn. Because it's a symbiotic relationship. I'm learning, you are paying me to learn under you.
That's a good way to describe it.
And so if I'm done learning, I go to somewhere else where I've learned some more and I move on. It's not that big of a deal. As long as you provide value, you will find a job. It's not hard.
Can I just say, I like that you say things like you're learning. Like you think of the workforce as learning, and now you work for yourself, so everything you've learned goes into
It goes into it. Yeah,
I think it's a
exactly.
huge way for you to see it. But if you're going to do the 9 to 5 thing all through, you're always going to be in the 9 to 5 market. There's time for you to think of it as learning. There's time for you to think of it as growing on those skills, and there's time for you to know that you should be paid something that matches what you're growing.
It's frustrating.
People won't leave if they are paid well, they're supported well.
I agree. And I do think that if the company is doing well and if the company can afford it, right, employees should earn well. As long as the company is bringing in money and the company can afford it. But if you know that the company is not bringing money, I think it's like sometimes you should let your people know that, oh, this is the plan when we start making money, right?
I need you to be someone of your word.
Yeah.
I don't want to drag. See, my pet peeve is by dragging for my money. I don't like it. It's nasty. I've worked for you. I've delivered, and I'm dragging you for money. But there's also come back and say the thing. Do the thing you said you do.
I think this is the final thing I'll say on this topic.
Okay, fine.
Is
I don't work for money.
Bosses, please, if you're not paying people well, treat them well.
Hey!
That's all I have to say. Like, it cannot be too, it can't be both.
Please.
Treat them well enough that they can overlook that, okay, I see the vision, I like my boss, I'm pushing with my boss until I get to
that place
where I know I will be paying my worth. But you now want to treat somebody that you're not paying well, badly.
Yeah.
It won't work.
I agree.
Or you can just pay well and treat us
We're going to go straight to the last segment, which we'll just read this situation with this particular person, which I think I'm looking at it now. I feel like it's basically centers on a lot of the things we've spoken about. So this person says, I work for a workaholic who isn't the sweetest person and expects high standards from employees. They are often asking for volunteers to attend events, workshops, or take on new projects in the company. As this is my dream job, I always volunteer, but my colleagues believe this makes them look bad. This is so me, I swear. It used to be me anyways. They also think I'm ass kissing to be a favorite. Should I mess up my dream job just to make my colleagues feel better?
I have a question. My question is,
I'm not the person who
if you quit or you mess up your job, will your colleagues feed you? That's the question.
Okay. I think it's ridiculous that you even care what people think. And the people are not the people that pay your salary.
Exactly. So guys, I think we're ending with this note. Do the most. Wherever you find yourself, do the absolute most.
Take it with your chest.
Ensure that when you are leaving, they will miss you.
They will beg.
Oh my God.
Beg you to come back.
Let them be like, oh my God, remember that girl? She used to be the standard.
Be the standard.
Oh, thank you guys so much for joining us today. This has been like such an amazing conversation. We've had a really great conversation, and I hope there was something here for you. If you want to share your experiences with us, our email is on screen. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, and share. Until next time, my name is Roberta Orioma, and this is Why I Hate My Boss.